Alright, so today in focus will be gold loans, and for that I have with me Aparna Ramchanda, founder, director, rectifycredit.com. Aparna, good evening and welcome to the show. So, uh, all that glitters is always not gold, okay? At least that is what we are seeing for all those NBFC companies where there has been a strike down from RBI, and further a lot of NBFCs also on radar. Now, the question in concern, or maybe from a gold buyer or a user's point of view, is if at all you want to have a gold loan at this high prices also, what is it that you should be doing? Should you be just shutting down NBFCs and not looking at them and just, going towards the banks which also offer you gold loans? These loans are of short term, and, you take a loan, but then you also need to have a prepayment strategy in mind. But then before that, let's analyze situation of NBFCs who give gold loans. Now, a one by one strike down and inquiry coming up from the regulator is definitely concerning. Aparna.
The overall, yes, there is a concern, but then it cannot be a right or a wrong answer because there are good sound NBFCs. There are also banks, like you said, who are giving gold loans. Now, where the NBFC comes into picture, especially when it is a gold loan, is vis-a-vis a bank. These are more agile. So the document requirement, for example, or the turnaround time, those are convenient for the end user. The accessibility, the ability to, with less documents, you are able to get the gold loan. Especially when we all know that gold loan is something that a person is looking at for a short term, and there is an emergency for which this loan is being taken. So to that extent, the NBFCs have always stepped in where vis-a-vis a large bank with its own, machinery, the way it functions, the turnaround time is slower. So which is where the NBFCs chipped in. But somewhere along the line, lot of compliances were, compromised, and that's a separate story. But for the end user, I would not say don't go to an NBFC at all. But if you choose to go to an NBFC, please remember, while your turnaround time is faster, the ability to get the loan is easier, you will end up paying maybe a higher rate of interest compared to a bank. Number one. Number two, there may also be some other hidden charges, extra charges vis-a-vis a bank. So this is like, if you do a cost benefit analysis, this is what you will figure out. So if you are in a dire need and you need it like as of yesterday, and you are willing to pay whatever the interest rate because you know this is just for a short term, and you are confident that you will be able to repay, then NBFC is your answer. If not, then the bank is the answer. I would like to put it like this, Kavita.
Why is the difference in terms of interest rate and other all charges that you just mentioned as compared to a bank, Aparna?
The interest rates for an NBFC can start anywhere between 14-16% to go up to 26%. So banks definitely are way lower compared to this. Now, please remember that this rate of interest is not regulated by the RBI. So how the home loan rates are regulated. So the banks and the NBFCs are looking to make their that extra layer in these loans, and NBFCs can charge anywhere between 18 to 26%. Plus, there is a processing fee, and depending on the duration that you take this loan for, that processing fee, those other charges are calculated according to that. So, if you're looking at a very short tenure, maybe you don't end up paying as much. But if you say you're doing somewhere between 6 to 9 months, correspondingly, the charges are going to increase. Kavita.
So, Aparna, now in this scenario, if someone really wants to, explore going to an NBFC, although, it's always good to go for a lower interest rate, but then how do you also analyze what kind of NBFC you might want to consider?
I would always suggest an NBFC that has a good track record for the last 10 to 15 years. Also check online what kind of, complaints or their grievance redressal is in place. In case of a default, what has happened. So these are scenarios one needs to check before one goes and signs up for an NBFC. Having said that, I would also be extra cautious about these so-called digi lenders, or those online ones where they say gold loan is available in 30 seconds and at your doorstep and stuff like that, because those are very dicey. A, the rates of interest is higher. B, tomorrow in case you default, then you don't know what happens with the auction and the whole process for you to recover your gold and all of that. So it is better to go to an established NBFC where you know the systems, where you know the procedures, and you are somewhere able to go and reach out to somebody in case something were to go wrong. For me, at Rectify Credit, my first big concern is, in case something were to go wrong, is there somebody that is reachable? See, when everything is good, all is well, then there is no issue. You sit at home, do it online, you repay, you close, and you move forward. But just in case something were to happen, then if you don't have anywhere to go back to, then you are caught in a piquant situation, especially in our country where customer rights, grievance, they all take a back seat. And which is why these are primary things one needs to look out before you sign up with an NBFC.
All right. So now let's also talk about the other aspect of this entire topic is when should one actually go for a gold loan, Aparna?
In an ideal case scenario, that should be your lastest option, because you try all your other sources and then go for a gold loan. A, because in case something were to happen and you are not able to repay, then that whatever family gold, your gold, whatever gold, that gold is gone. Then to get back that gold is almost next to impossible. It gets auctioned and that's end of the story. So that is number one. So if you are not sure about your repayment, then don't go pledge the gold. Number one. Number two, I'm first talking about when not to go for a gold loan. So second is, if you know that you will not be able to sustain these kinds of rates of interest for the tenure that you have agreed, then don't go for a gold loan, because you're going to lose the gold. Thirdly, if it is something that is not belonging only to you, then you have that complete right over that gold, then don't go pledge that against a gold loan. Now, where you can go and choose to borrow this gold, money against this gold is, A, in a scenario where you know that, you're almost, these days, almost 75% is the LTV, loan to value. So the amount that you are going to get is going to be much higher. So that is one option. B, you are very clear that why you are taking this loan, and you are also confident that you are going to repay this loan. Three, this is compared to a, say for example, a credit card debt, where we know we are going to be ending up paying something like 48%. You are vis-a-vis paying, even if you go to an NBFC, you are paying anywhere between 24 to 10. So the trade-off. So these are the pros and cons that the borrower needs to do the homework first before going and signing up to the first available NBFC. Kavita.
Right. All right. So, point taken over here. But then I also want to understand, because you said this has to be your last and last resort. I think the last resort can also be, having loan taken up from your investments other than gold. So,
Correct.
even after that, you should be considering gold, or that can come before that.
Yeah, I would see, this is again like a personal scenario as to how desperate the situation is. But in an ideal case scenario, if you're able to exhaust your investments, you're able to, you can borrow against your invest. Those are things that you need to be first exhausting before you sign up for these loans, because please understand, the cost of borrowing is very high. Number one. Number two, in case you end up defaulting, then you are going to lose out on that gold. That is the only thing. So if you are clear of these two, then gold loan is good. Then you don't have to take loan against your investments, let that investment grow, let your portfolio grow, but you are taking this for a short term, you repay this, and you move forward, all is well. But if you are not sure about that, then gold loan, I would say, should be the last of your priority.
All right. Also talking about the repayment strategy, but before that, I want to understand, because we also invest. It's not only the physical part of the gold that people have. A lot of people invest through gold ETF and gold fund also, and sovereign gold bond also. That cannot be put on loan, right? That money can't be borrowed with those kind of investments.
No, no. It's always a physical good.
All right. How should you analyze the repayment strategy for a gold loan repayment, and also, missing out your payments impact your credit score?
Missing out your payments for sure directly impacts your credit score. But the bigger, loss in this gold loan is if you continuously miss out, say for 3 months, your account becomes an NPA, then the gold loan lending company almost has a right to go and auction your loan without even, at times we have had cases where the customer is not even being informed that his gold is getting auctioned. So all whole lot of things happen there. So but so it is very important that you decide as to by when you will be able to repay and get the gold back. So if you know that this is a short term, when I say short term, it may be 3 months, because minimum is 3 months. So 3 months or 6 months, or so you take a call as to by till when you want to service this interest, till when you need this money, and by when you will be able to repay. According to that, take the gold loan. Don't sign up just because something is available. If you know that this is this short term emergency and you're going to be able to tide over, then stick to a shorter tenure, repay, move on in life. Kavita.
And Aparna, how is the gold assessed? As in, how do they decide what amount of loan will you be getting from your from your gold?
Like I said, till 2020, the LTV was 60%, which means if your gold was valued at 1,000 rupees, they would value if your gold was valued at 1,000 rupees, you were eligible for a loan up to 600 rupees, which was 60% LTV. But now RBI has allowed that to go up to 75%. So if your gold is valued at 1,000 rupees, you are eligible for a loan up to 750 rupees. So that is how the gold is evaluated. And always when they evaluate, they give you a certificate, they give you details about what gold you have given, what quality, what is it that they have valued it, and how much you have borrowed. So that document is always given to you when you take the loan, when you sign up for the loan. Kavita.
All right, I think that will be all. Thank you so much, Aparna, for taking time out and giving all crucial information to our viewers as far as taking gold loan is concerned. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
We
Kavita.
move on.